I'm State Representative Joe Smith from District 14. You know, as hard-working Missourians, we realize that the value of a dollar and the importance of getting the most bang for our buck. One of the places where we apply this principle with the greatest success is Missouri Department of Transportation. For years, the Transportation Department failed to give us a solid return on the money that was invested with our tax dollars. By MoDOT's own admission, more than 87% of Missouri's roads were less than good condition prior to 2004. Much of this was a result of the disastrous 15-year highway plan that delivered broken promises rather than needed results. My colleagues and I knew that the people of this state deserved better. In 2003, we passed the Accountability Act that demanded that the department come up with solutions for the road improvements. That legislation marked a key turning point in the history of Missouri's Department of Transportation. In its place was a system based on accountability, designed to produce one thing that is needed from the very beginning: better roads. As part of the Accountability Act, MoDOT's director is required to come before the Missouri General Assembly each year to provide an update of the state of transportation in Missouri. This session marked the 5th time that he has stood before the House and the Senate to provide that information. Today, 78% of Missouri's major roads are listed in being in good condition, and that percentage increases with every passing month. Everywhere we looked, we see a major road improvement projects that will mean a better and safer roads for the people of Missouri. We are getting what we paid for with this department. We can take pride in the accomplishments every time we drive along a smooth road or see safety improvements that will save more lives. Thank you, and we'll be right back with State Senator Tom Dempsey from District 23 on Capital Update. Senator Tom Dempsey served on the St. Charles City Council from 1998 to 2000. He also served in the Missouri House of Representatives from 2000 to 2007, where he chaired the Job Creation and Economic Development Committee from 2003 to 2004, and the Majority Floor Leader from 2005 to 2007. In 2007, Senator Dempsey was elected to the Missouri Senate in a special election. Senator Dempsey currently serves on the committees of Economic Development, Tourism, and Local Government, where he's the vice chair of, also Ways and Means, where he's also the vice chair of, Commerce, Energy, and Environment, Rules, the Joint Rules, Resolutions, and Ethics, Joint Committee on Missouri Health Net. In addition to his legislative duties, Senator Dempsey is the vice president of the First National Bank of St. Louis. His family has a restaurant business in St. Charles County for more than 50 years. Senator Dempsey received a BA degree in political science from Rockhurst University. He lives in St. Charles with his wife Molly and their children Megan, Abby, and Jack. Welcome to my show.
Good to be here with you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you to be here. My state rep district serves roughly about 34,000 people. How much does your state senate in the 23rd serve?
Well, there are roughly about 5 representatives for 1 senator, and the district is about 175,000 in population.
Now, is that your district is 175, or is that the average of how a state senate district is supposed to be?
That's a rough estimate. I haven't looked at the actual census data for my district, but it's just kind of a rough estimate. Obviously, because it uses census data over 10 years, you know, especially out here in St. Charles County, that number's likely to grow and get smaller in other districts.
This is your 3rd elected office in the last 10 years, and every time you moved up through the ranks. Who inspired you to run for office the first time?
You know, inspiration, I guess my interest in government service started back in high school and in my American history classes and learning about the founding of our country. It was just it was a topic that I really enjoyed and wanted to learn about. And then when I ran for City Council in '98, that first started in a discussion with Don Boehmer. And you know, Don I guess, was interested in who'd be serving, and some others, and asked if I might be interested. And I would say that was probably the beginning, and I thought, here's something I've enjoyed learning about, and why not take a chance and throw my name in the ring and see what happens.
Can you give me what's the major difference in serving in the Missouri House and the Missouri Senate? I realize you've only been there a few months in the Senate, but what's the major difference in the two houses of our state government?
Well, you get primarily, other than the numbers, 163 in the House, 34 in the Senate. You've got they operate under different rules, and the House is it's more structured on party and the rule of 82. If you've got 82 votes, the majority party can pretty much move its agenda. On the Senate, because of the rules on debate, senators have individually, whether they're in the majority or minority party, have a lot more influence on legislation. So you really have to make more of an effort to reach across the aisle or build relationships with senators and kind of work out differences on legislation.
You served as Missouri House floor leader for 3 years. That's roughly one of the most powerful elected positions in the state of Missouri. What will you miss most about that?
Well, as majority leader, if a bill was going to pass, it crossed my desk at some point, and I enjoyed working as the caucus leader, working on our priorities that we moved through the last 3 years. I think we got a tremendous amount of work done, and I have a great deal of pride in the new education formula, decreasing taxes on Social Security, a number of our broad party agendas, getting the budget balanced, and so to move from that party leader role, where I kind of helped shepherd bills through, I no longer have that responsibility. So, it's good and bad. I don't have a broad agenda of items I'm working on, but I'm actually able to work more in the Senate on individual priorities. So it's been a mixed blessing, and I'm excited to be in the Senate.
Okay. You served 7 years in the House. You're actually allowed to do is 8, unless you do a special election in the last half of the term. Then you're eligible for 9. So you served 7 years in the House. You're in your first year of the Senate. What is your opinion on term limits of legislators in the state of Missouri?
Well, I have to admit, in 1992, I was a supporter of term limits. Little did I know that it would impact me in some way down the road. It created an opportunity, and also puts a limit on my service in the House and Senate. We need to have a discussion about it. It takes a great deal of time, I think, to get versed on issues, to get an understanding of how the process works. It was passed overwhelmingly, so I think it's still popular. Term limits is still popular. My interest would be looking at, maybe 12 would be